HomesicknessRelief.com.
You won't miss a thing. News, talk, weather, and sports. Get it here on your news and information source for Williston and the Bakken. The new Keys AM 660.
The Bakken is talking on a Monday afternoon, November 11th, Veterans Day. We salute our veterans today, and we are so glad to have you along with us this afternoon. I'm Dee James, and in the studio next to me is our producer, Thomas Willenbring. He's also our news director and all-around just technical genius. And it's great to have you along as well. We enjoy your phone calls. If you have a question, it's 774-0306 or 1-800-238-0306. And as always, you can communicate with us via Facebook at facebook.com/660KEYZ. And Thomas, I'm going to take my headphones off for the program this afternoon because it's just there's too much... There's just too much noise in these headphones this afternoon.
Really?
So I will watch your hand signals, and I'll watch just for cues from you, okay?
Well, I'll have to be on my game, I guess.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you always are. All right. I don't usually do the program without headphones, but Thomas has his headphones on, so that's what counts this afternoon. All right.
Yes.
All right, well, we'd like to call this Mental Health Monday, and in the studio with me is my guest for the whole hour today, and I'm so glad to have this lady. She is a counselor, coach, parent mentor. She helps people and families achieve harmony since 1995, and welcome back to Lorraine Purcell.
Thank you, Dee. It's so great to be back.
I'm glad to have you back in the studio with me. We're gonna do this every Monday. We're going to make this a regular get-together and do this every Monday. And,
I love that. So exciting.
And, you were just telling me before we went on the air that folks they get the Williston Herald, and this is really a great, I'm so excited. They get the Williston Herald just to read your article.
Yeah.
One of the reasons that they get it.
Yes.
And I do too. I mean, after I read the front page news, I'm flipping over to the page to find your article. And this week, the past Friday is when your article comes out. It's a positive mental note, okay, is the title of it. And you focused on something that I want to start off with, kind of as a springboard to get into our discussion this afternoon. Family harmony. Mm-hmm. And I like the way you opened up, the way you began the article. You say, we are family in the Bakken, in North Dakota, in the Midwest, in the U.S., in the Northern Hemisphere, in the world. No matter where we live, we are connected by the same wants for happiness, desires to be loved, needs to belong. And I think that's so true of Williston today, because it's becoming an international and has become an international community. And no matter where you go in this community, you can go to Walmart, be standing in line at Walmart, be standing in line at the grocery store, and just start up a conversation with the person you're standing next to just simply by saying, where are you from?
Super. It's super to reach out. So many people are here from so many different locations. And if we just reach out beyond ourselves, sorry, I just banged this. If we just reach out beyond ourselves, we can create that connection. Just go a little bit outside of our own comfort zone and say, hi, I notice your accent. Where are you from?
And the thing is, I think what you're trying to get to, we all have the human condition.
Yes.
What do you mean by that? When you say, we all, no matter where we're from, we're all family, we are family. And we all have the same needs, wants, desires. We have the human condition. What do you mean by that?
I have to reread my article because that thing kind of sort of just bangs out stream of consciousness. But the human condition, I think what I was meaning there was our tendency to kind of default to lower nature stuff. Like to be critical, to criticize somebody, to find that, to create separateness. It's just almost a human condition. And so I see you scrunching up your eyebrows.
Well,
like that wasn't expecting
well, no,
what
when
you
you said the word critical, you mean to be critical of others?
Critical of others, judging others. That's the human condition is all of those things. And I think that, certainly my mission on earth is to rise above that and to be a positive contributor And I know there's so many other people who are on the same page with me, and we're all doing our little thing to try to connect, to try to rise above the human condition.
Okay.
Realizing that no matter what color somebody's skin is, no matter what language they speak, we all do have the same wants, needs, desires to belong, to be loved. We love family.
To have that sense of belonging.
Yes, yes.
And that, that's so crucial here because, Lorraine, I have to tell you that there are some folks that are out on the fringes of this community. And they may be in an RV park. They may be in this housing situation that's not one of the best.
Yeah.
And it's hard for those folks to feel like that they belong to the community and that they're a part of it.
That's one of the things I wanted to actually approach the listening community with. And I don't know if we have time to go into that right now. But, Thanksgiving is coming up. Who can you invite into your home to extend your Thanksgiving to? Because we have so many people who are without a home, without their family. Well, maybe not without a home, but without their family. I mean, could we extend ourselves to bring in 4 or 5 or 6 people that you work with who maybe don't have family? That's one of the things I just wanted to really plant a seed about because, it is one of the loneliest, the holiday seasons are one of the loneliest times. And who can we reach out to and bring into our home and share our meal with? It will just make their life.
Right.
It will change everything for them.
I had a friend recommend to me when I was kind of going through some homesickness early on after moving here. She suggested to me, well, invite some people over to your apartment and make some new memories with some new friends. And that will help you get through it. Do you think that that's good advice? I
think that's really good advice. Definitely good advice.
So whether, like you say, coworkers, people that, that might be in the same boat as you are, missing home, maybe in unfamiliar territory, out of your comfort zone. And they may be going through some of the same things. Invite them over to your apartment or whatever, and share the holidays together.
Or maybe a neighbor down the corridor of your apartment building. Share Thanksgiving together. Just build that community.
Yes, that's so needed. Build, a sense of community. A lot of times I think in this area, on those folks in the outer, maybe on the outer edges, there isn't that sense of community. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes, like in the RV parks, whatever, it's not there. That sense of community, because I've experienced it. I know I've experienced it firsthand, and that is so important to have that, especially with the holidays coming up, to have that sense of community, that sense of belonging, and just, as you said, that family, that we are family, no matter where we're at. We all are connected by those same needs and desires.
And we're all human.
Yeah. we have that in common, don't we?
Yeah.
We've got to take a break. We're going to come right back with Lorraine Purcell. We want to take your phone call, so go ahead. Get that phone call in right now, so when we come back after the break, you can ask your questions, 774-0306 or 1-800-238-0306. Lorraine Purcell will be back on The Bakken is Talking.
The game on your farm. Individual results may vary. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
The new Keys AM 660.
The Bakken is Talking. We're back with Lorraine Purcell and 774-0306 or 1-800-238-0306. We were discussing before the break a positive mental note, Lorraine Purcell's Friday column in the Williston Herald, and she was talking about in the column that we all have the human condition and how to bring family harmony into our world. And Lorraine, you said you had a story that you wanted to share about that, about something, an experience that happened to you personally.
Yeah, it was. I inadvertently was backing out of the post office, and I didn't see this truck behind me. I was not close to them, and these two guys in the truck were just sitting there shaking their heads with their heads in their hands. And you know what? It wasn't friendly at all, and it was like, you are such an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
And
without saying a word, you knew what they.
Oh, I could feel it. I could feel it. I can still feel it right now.
Feel the vibes.
Yeah, and I'm like, I tried to say, I'm so sorry, and they wouldn't look up. Their head was just in their hands shaking, like I committed like this horrible crime, and so I went out of my way to try to find them. They left. I couldn't find them, but I still kept looking because I wanted to build a bridge, and so. Finally, after I went into the post office, came back out, they did drive by, and I rolled down my window, and I'm flagging them down, and they finally look over, and I turned on the charm, and I just said, I am so sorry. I did not mean to upset you. And then I said, made a joke about women drivers, and they just opened up, and their smiles, I knew they would never be the same again. Mm-hmm. Just something about that little thing, that me reaching out and humbling myself instead of like getting on the same thing. Well, expletive.
An easy type of reaction.
And that's what I talk about, the human condition. I mean, that's the knee-jerk response that we tend to have. But change that and try to build a bridge with somebody who maybe can't go there except by your example.
Mm-hmm. And in those types of situations that are like highly charged, highly charged emotions, sometimes it's hard to do that. But how do we do that, Lorraine? I mean, do we just like step back and just take a breath?
I think that's a good thing to do. Step back, take a breath
for a moment.
But more, it just doesn't feel good to me when someone's upset at me. So I try to find ways to just build that bridge, build that connection. No matter what it is. Mm-hmm. No matter what it is. I don't like to leave things unsettled or in a critical spot because, when someone is negative to us, that's all they know. And I think I alluded to that in the article too, that it truly is, after all these years of counseling, 18 years of counseling, I know that people really are doing their best. We don't know what their situation is. We may have seen them perform better in other situations, but we don't know what this particular situation or this circumstance of today, when they're being nasty to us, is actually where they are.
You say that. You say, quote, and I'm quoting your words here, their actions are their best right now in their situation. And as a counselor for many years, I know this to be true. And as you said, everybody that we meet is going through something, but we may not know what it is.
We never know.
We all put on that facade, that smiley face. We ask each other, "How you doing?" and we usually say, "Well, good. How are you?" But really, can I really tell you how I'm doing? And if we just stop and say, "Here's really how I'm doing today."
Yeah. And will you really listen?
Yeah. So, Lorraine, how, a lot of folks in this area are going through, we are all family here in Williston and the Bakken, because we're all going through challenges, changes, and why is it that change is so hard for us to deal with?
Well, I could answer that shallowly, or I could answer it really deeply.
Well, give us both. What's the shallow and the deep answers? I mean, we're all going. Maybe that's why some folks get so stressed out, is because of all the change.
Stress makes us very grumpy. Mm-hmm. People are without their families here, and we just need to extend grace, even if they aren't extending grace to us. Mm-hmm. That's my personal mission, and I know I'm going to be tested on that now that I've said it. It's one of the double binds of being a counselor. Whatever I say comes back to.
Then you'll have.
Yeah, I have to live. I have to walk my talk. Mm-hmm. But you'd asked me about change in the break, Dee, and I believe we are in the Earth School. We are here to learn and to grow. We're baby angels. And so we're here in this environment that is so filled with challenges. I mean, every day we have 50 challenges, at least. You know, if it's not something new from today, it's something that's hung over from yesterday, or from, you know, your mother's sick, or your child is rebelling, and so it just goes on and on and on. And it's all about us changing our vantage point to look for the positives, to see the things that we're grateful for. And, you know, I'll tell you honestly, I wake up every morning with a cloud over my head usually. And I have to work to get out of this pit every day.
Why do you think that is? Do you think that's just your temperament?
I think I'm prone to depression. I actually do. And so that's not where I want to stay. Those aren't the choices I want to make. And also, we have these thought forms that are just cruising through the air and just, you know, come in. And you know, honestly, we pick up on everyone. You know this. You're standing in the line at Walmart, say. You can pick up on the thoughts and the vibes of people around you. So these are just things that are coming from the ethers. Do we choose to claim those, or do we go, you know, I don't think I'm going to choose that thought. I think I'm going to choose, I am so grateful. I am so grateful to my son. I'm so grateful to my daughter-in-law. I'm so grateful for my 3 grandchildren. I'm so grateful that I have come here to Williston and have met so many friends. And I just go through my list. I just go through my list, and my spirits start to rise, and I will not go back down there.
So maybe we can look at change as an opportunity for a positive experience.
Like, how are we going to look at it? How are we going to look at this change?
We've got to take a break,
Yes.
Lorraine, and we'll be right back. Your phone calls are eagerly anticipated this afternoon, and Thomas is standing by to take your questions at 774-0306 or 1-800-238-0306. If you'd rather not go on the air, on the radio, that's fine. He can write down your question, or you can communicate with us via Facebook at facebook.com/660KEYZ. Lorraine Purcell, Mental Health Monday. We'll come back on The Bakken is Talking.
Financing as low as 0% or attractive lease offers on a brand new F-150 or Super Duty. Visit NorthlandFord.com and your local Northland Ford dealer for a test drive today. Not all buyers will qualify for all offers or Ford Credit Limited Term Financing. See dealer for qualifications and complete details on limited time offers.
The new Keys AM 660.
The Bakken is Talking, and during the break, I've been talking to Lorraine Purcell. She is such an interesting lady. I love talking with Lorraine and just asking her questions just about life. And you can do the same thing. If you have a question today, be sure and call, because we've only got maybe 20 more minutes or so left with Lorraine Purcell on Mental Health Monday. 774-0306 or 1-800-238 0306 or via Facebook, facebook.com/660KEYZ. Lorraine, we were talking during the break about just smiling. And that was, and how that you were telling me, and I did not realize this, when we just smile, how that physically, there's a physical effect there. Tell me about that.
It releases, when you cannot smile and be angry at the same time. You cannot smile and be depressed at the same time. When you smile, when you lift those corners of your mouth, it releases hormones that uplift you. So I challenge you to smile and try to be mad at somebody while you're driving.
Now, while we're driving, now that's where I brought it kind of to a local perspective, and I have to admit, driving in Williston is sometimes frustrating at best. And when I come in, and I have to admit, folks, when I come in contact with the truckers, I just want to see. I want to see that bypass, and I want to see the truckers get on the bypass and get out of town. I'm just being honest, because it's sometimes frightening. I mean, it's frightening. I have a 21-year-old daughter that, and you know, that has the she has to make the trek across the busiest intersection in Williston sometimes, just going to and from work. And I've almost been hit by a semi in the intersection, just going through the intersection and having the right-of-way, having the green light, going through the intersection and almost hit by a truck, by a semi. And your response to that was something that really was challenging to me.
I know that truckers have a heart, and I'm after it. And when I go on my little country road and they go back and forth, I wave at them and I smile. And when they see me, they smile back, and I just know it makes their day. Like, look, they've got this big job, and I just it's kind of my personal mission to bring out that positive common factor in all of us. They could use, if they're grumpy, they could use a smile. They could use a wave. And, on the other hand, I have not noticed the traffic in Williston being frustrating at all.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean, I was from Hawaii where we had 2-lane roads and, traffic would be backed up for 40 minutes. We're just waiting for the school bus. So, or on our coffee plantation, when we were coming down the hill, neighbors would just be stopped in the middle of the road on our 1-lane road and just talk for 5 minutes. So you you build in extra time and you just call whoever it is. So to me, it's just commerce and people going about their business, and I look at it as more of an invigorating thing. I'm a little afraid when it starts to get icy if the trucks are going to avoid me, but look for the things that you want. Pay attention to what you want. You don't want to be focusing on, that semi is going to hit me. You want to be focusing on, I'm going to be safe today. I am surrounded by angels. Angels, please protect me. Mm-hmm. I bless that trucker that almost hit me in that intersection. I send because remember I said last week, when you bless a situation, it's the only way you can have any control over it. So when we bless it and we ask what our lesson might be, maybe it isn't, I don't know what your lesson might be, but maybe it's to extend love to that person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and we don't know what that person, what that trucker might be going through.
Or thinking, or what's on his mind.
At that moment. If folks want to contact you, Lorraine, and I want to get this in before our visit is over today, you have an offer to folks, a free consultation. Mm-hmm. Give the folks that phone number in that way that they can contact you if they have either they just want to. And by the way, you said after last week's program, you received 2 phone calls, mm-hmm. and I think that's great. That
it was awesome.
Mental Health Monday is working, and we're so glad to have you here on the new Keys AM 660 to help those folks that need some consultations.
Mm-hmm. Well, basically, I just want to say that I'm here for you. And I know what it's like to need somebody to talk to, especially somebody who is a confidential source. And I just want to extend myself to you. And so if you'd like a free consultation, you can phone me at 808. It's my Hawaii prefix, 936-4370. 808-936-4370. We can schedule a complimentary consultation where I can give you relief and some tips, whether it's about parenting, whether it's about life, whether it's about coping with your husband being gone all the time, whether it's like, I'm so sick of this truck, I want to just throw up every time I see it. What is it? And we can talk about it. And it's also an opportunity for me to see if my services are a fit for you. Mm-hmm. So, or you can email me at theparentmentor@gmail.com, theparentmentor@gmail.com.
And you're an author. Tell us about the books that you have written and how they kind of fit into your the tools that you work with or that mm-hmm. you work with your clients.
Yeah, so I've written 4 books. It goes along with my CD programs it's called Affirmations for Kids and Parents. And it's me actually talking to the kids. But it's for the parents so that they can understand what their children are developmentally capable of doing, because we tend to do too much for our children. And I believe that handicaps them for life, actually. And so don't do for your child what they can do for themselves. And I'm not talking about grace when there's, like, oh, I'm just melting down. I can't do it today. Of course you help them. Of course you reach out, but not every night. So not every day. We want them to build their muscles. So these 4 books are about, there's a preschool kindergarten version, elementary school version, junior high version, and high school version, where I'm talking to the child and I'm saying, look, don't you want to get independent from your parents? Do you really want to be, stuck with them? Do you want to don't you want to move on in life? Especially as I talk to the older grades, take responsibility for yourself, take responsibility for your homework. And so it's really a wonderful tool for parents to have. Because you can just flip open that book and go, I'm schoolwork, and just, here's a few things that I can expect or say that would be helpful to my child.
All right. Well, we're going to take one more break and we'll be back with one more final segment of our time with Lorraine Purcell, and we'll tell you about a course that is being offered through Williston State College that she's going to be presenting tomorrow, actually, Tuesday, November 12th. So we'll tell you about that when the Bakken is Talking comes back.
At your service with up-to-the-minute news, talk, weather, and sports. We're your news and information source for Williston and the Bakken. The new Keys AM 660.
The Bakken is Talking. We're back, and we have Lorraine Purcell in the studio with us. I want to offer you those phone numbers once again, 774-0306 or 1-800-238-0306. If you'd like to ask Lorraine a question before we close out our program today. It's 50 minutes past the hour, so we just have a few more minutes with Lorraine Purcell, our guest on Mental Health Monday. And I want to bring out, before we close out our program, Lorraine, that you have a course that's being offered, How to Have Grateful Kids in Time for Thanksgiving. And this is coming up tomorrow evening, Tuesday, November 12th, 6:30 to 9 p.m. at Williston State College. Get the insider tips on fostering a thankful attitude in your child by the time Turkey Day is here. And it says that you will help guide folks step by step on turning grumpy to grateful. I love that. Turning grumpy to grateful. And if folks want to find out more, they can just go to www.willistonstate.edu/trainnd. So this is through the TrainND department. So how to have grateful kids in time for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is not it's just around the corner, Lorraine.
Yeah. So do you mind reading those that website again for them?
Yeah, that is the www.willistonstate.edu/trainnd, TRAINND, or you can call 701-774-6236, 774-6236 if you'd still like an opportunity to get in on that course with Lorraine Purcell tomorrow evening at Williston State College, 6:30 to 9 p.m. So we've covered a lot of ground this afternoon, Lorraine. Having a positive attitude, change, the human condition, and how we are all family. We're all, no matter where like we said at the beginning of the program, no matter where we're from, we're all human beings. And we all have the same needs, the same desires, the same, whatever those needs might be. And, if we just would recognize that, do you think maybe if we would recognize that we would all maybe have better relationships with one another?
Yes, and I just think that there is a force out there because it comes on me. I have to work to find the connection, to see the connection, because we're so busy, we're so stressed, we're blah, 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 blah. It's like we go, oh, that's a truck. We don't even realize there's somebody in the truck who has children and has a wife and has kids and a mother and a father. So it's this depersonalization of society. And I would like to challenge all of us to not be afraid of people. We've become very afraid of people because of largely the media. And I'm so sorry because I know that this is news talk. But the media, I think, because it's the things that sell, they glorify the negative. And then we think that that's the thing. It's like, oh, no, it's not. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, it is not.
We need to get back to being more people-centered.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Trusting people more, extending a hand, inviting them over to your house. Don't expect them to be an axe murderer, for goodness sake, but we would think so. And I also invite people to monitor the kinds of things that they listen to and the kind of things that they watch. Mm-hmm. What TV shows are you watching? What kind of music are you listening to? What is the message? Do you really want to live like that? Or would you rather have your life be bubbling over with joy and happiness where you could actually spread that to other people? Because that is a viable alternative. I'm here to tell you.
Mm-hmm. And that's so needed in our community here. The way you look at things, really, we have to change your own viewpoint. Mm-hmm. We were talking about how is it our temperament or that we might be inclined to wake up feeling with negative thoughts, or is it our temperament? Is it the way we've been raised or brought up, or is it just that we are a little bit of a combination of things? We're bombarded, like you were saying, we are bombarded on a daily basis with all kinds of messages, all kinds of just busyness. And sometimes we just need to step back away from that and say, I've got to get off of this, this whatever. And
take a fast from the negative messages and cut yourself off from newspapers, blah, blah, blah. I mean, here I am writing for the Herald telling people that, but those thoughts, those negative things that come into our mind, they're probably not even your thoughts. They're things that you've picked up and you thought they were your thoughts because they went through your brain, but they're probably just these, tracks that have been laid down and laid down and laid down. And I invite you to, decide what you want and think about those things that you want. And then those are the things that you're going to attract to yourself. If you see the goodness in people, you're going to attract more good people. In fact, the people who aren't good won't even find you because you're on a whole different vibration. You're on a whole different plane than them.
Well, we're going to wrap up our visit today with Lorraine Purcell. I just want to remind you that she does have a column in the Friday edition, every Friday, of the Williston Herald, and it's called A Positive Mental Note. So you can watch for her column in the Williston Herald, and you can also join us each Monday afternoon at this time on the Bakken is Talkin' for Mental Health Monday. And Lorraine, if folks want to get in contact with you, tell them again how they can do that.
808-936-4370. 808-936-4370, or you can email me at theparentmentor@gmail.com.
All right. Thank you, Lorraine Purcell. And I want to say thank you to the producer of the Bakken is Talkin', Thomas Willenbring. He is in the studio next to me doing a fantastic job. I want to thank you, our listeners, for joining us, and hopefully you will tune in again tomorrow when our guest will be Detective Corey Collings of the Williston Police Department and also Sarah Hasbargen with Sportsmen Against Hunger. We will be having a visit from her tomorrow on the Bakken is Talkin'.
Morning, Mr. Roccaccini.
Morning.
I know. 2 chicks on a raft, cup of joe, all arms and legs, make it moo.
I want soft-boiled eggs today.
Hold the chicks, drown the kids.
Wait, I'll have...
What? You ordered the same thing every day for 25 years.
I didn't know there was a choice.
Well, we've had the same menu every day for 25 years.